about 4 of us, maybe even 5. And he laid hands on us and said, y'all carry the revival on. And that revival lasted for 6 weeks. Souls were saved, lives were changed. Young preachers was preaching each night, just tag teaming and preaching, and souls were being saved. That is the type man that we have preaching today. Think about probably about 30 years ago, I had started the church about 35, almost 35 years ago, probably even 35. And we were in the front room of our house. And because of the relationship that I had with Elder Bean, some of my members called him. Because they wanted to bless me. Being called me and said, Wells, I need you over here. I'm thinking I'm going over there to preach. And I get to his church and they have chairs sit up for Sister Wells and I, and they were a blessing to us in a financial way. That's the kind of preaching that's preaching today. I was sitting, the Lord blessed and elevated me to be the bishop of Texas Northeast number 4. I received a number of applications for the job of the state evangelist department. I had looked over those resumes and some of them were very extensive. Had a lot of good things and perhaps good qualities. Looked at them and I could not settle upon one. I had a jurisdictional meeting with all of the pastors and leaders, and as I was in that meeting and I was letting people know of the appointments that God had given me and I'd made, and I looked back, still wrestling with the evangelist department. I went back and sit beside Elder Bean. And I said, what am I sitting back here for? He said, I don't know. I said, yeah, you know what I'm sitting back here. What am I sitting back here for? He started to shake in his seat and move around and squirm. I said, what am I sitting back here for? He said, you want me to do the evangelist department? I said, okay, you got it. And I went back up and I made the appointment from that point. He said, Bishop, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. But that is the kind of preacher that we will be hearing from today. He's a man that loved God. I've been in prayer meetings with him. And you know when a person prays, you know when they're faking. But I've been in prayer with Elder Bean, and I know that he was in the presence of the Lord. Because I could feel God's presence even as he prayed. That's the kind of preacher that you're hearing from today. Elder Bean worked as evangelist and he done a number of services. I think it was one service, something about fire or something of that character. And he invited me many times as a young man to preach during that season. And he's always been kind to me. And I appreciate God for this man of God. And I'm going to ask you, after his choir sung, I'm going to ask you to stand to receive this gospel preacher, this flamethrower, this man of God,
amen,
this shepherd.
Amen.
That's the kind of preacher you're hearing from today.
Amen.
Will you stand and receive him after his choir have shared with us? God bless you.
Thank you.